All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Chris. I'm an engineer on the KiloCode team. I primarily work on the extension side. And today I'm here to do a comparison of some of the top models that people use inside KiloCode. So let's see. I think the models we want to compare first, let's do Sonnet 4, which is the one I use the most. It's my favorite. It's kind of my daily driver. It's a little expensive, but now that KiloCode pays for my credits through testing, that's the one I tend to use the most. Let's do, want to compare Grok, Code Fast. Qwen, be another one we want to compare. GLM, which in my head I always call good looking model, but I'm pretty sure that's not what it stands for. I think it's linear model or something like that. And then we've got Sonoma. Let's do Dusk Alpha, which is the other free one. Okay. And when I create these profiles, so the first thing we want to do in order to test these in KiloCode is we want to create profiles for them. By default, I just have the default profile, but let's make a profile for each one of these so we can switch between them pretty easily. One of the things I like to do, because I like emojis and I like colors, I like to give each one of these their own emoji. So Sonnet, let's do rocket ship. No, actually, Sonnet, let's do something musical. Yeah, that makes more sense. A violin. Grok, maybe like a robot. Qwen, like a wave. I don't know. What does ChatGPT think I should name Qwen? What's a good emoji for Qwen? It's really thinking about it. This must be a tricky one. Well, in the meantime, we're going to go with a wave. I think that's totally fine. Keep thinking. Oh, all right. Now it's finally answering. Going. Try again. GLM, let's do a dragon. It's kind of fun. And maybe like a sunrise / sunset. There we go. For Sonoma Sky. I think so we should do a brain. Okay. So now let's just make model. Let's create profiles for these. Sonnet 4. It's going to be Sonnet 4. Code Fast. Grok Code Fast. Qwen. We'll put Qwen here. Qwen 3 coder. 3 coder. Looking model. I think this is 4.5. GLM. 4.5. This one, I'm not sure what the V version is. And then our last one we'll create is this Sonoma Dusk Alpha. Looks like there's both Sky and Dusk. I think Dusk sounds cooler. So let's go with Dusk. Put that there. There it is, Dusk Alpha saved. Okay, so now we have all of these models saved. Go back here, and now in our little picker, we can see we can pick between any of these, which is kind of nice. Let's just make sure we can say hello. Switch it into ask mode. There. Ask it a question. Let's see how friendly Sonoma is. It's pretty friendly. What can it assist us with? All right, so now that we've set up all of our profiles, let's start by doing some testing to see what are these models good and bad at, and let's try to develop a little comparison. All right, so we're back. We've set up our provider profiles, and now we are going to run through and do some testing in each one. I was trying to think of like a good comparison for each one. Maybe the first thing we'll do is we'll just ask it to create a to-do list app. I feel like that is the most standard React thing you can build. And React tends to be the language I use most since I'm a front-end developer, and that is what the KiloCode extension is written in. So we finished setting up our provider profiles. Now the next thing we want to do is test them in a to-do app. All right. So to get started, let's open the terminal. Let's see, where am I? I'm just in my home directory. Let's go into our workspaces. That's where I keep all my repositories. And I think I've got a kilo model testing. It should just be empty. Cool. All right. So now let's use create React app. I think I have this saved. We'll call it to-do list. All right. So we'll execute this command. This will just create all the scaffolding we need. We could ask the models to do this part for us. I think most of the time they would just be executing this command for us. And we wouldn't really see any interesting comparison, but that is something we could try later after this. We are now just waiting for it to install everything. And then we will get started. Start writing a prompt for this. So I'm going to use my voice just because I enjoy prompting my voice. So what we'd like to build is we want a simple React-based to-do list application. Users should be able to type a new item into an input box with a submit button, and that should add a new to-do to the list. Each item in the list should have a checkbox to show that they've been finished. And let's also say items in the list should be dragged in order to be reordered. So you should be able to reorder the list by dragging each item. Feel free to style it however you like. Make it good looking and clean, good colors, and a modern CSS layout and configuration. Write the code in TypeScript. Use Tailwind CSS to do all the styling. All right, so here's the prompt. I'm going to go ahead and take that prompt. Okay, let's see this finished. Go into our to-do list and from start, just to make sure it runs. All right, here is our standard React app. So now that we have this, we're just going to tell it straight up what I'm trying to do. Hello, I'm working on comparing all 5 of these models to see their strengths and weaknesses and the trade-offs between them. And so what we need to do is we're working in this directory here. And I basically just talk to it. I tell it exactly how I would talk to like a coworker. So we're working in this directory. This to-do list app is just the scaffolding. So I want to copy this to-do list 6 different times for each of these models. And then essentially we want to write a bash script that would allow us to open up VS Code or 6 copies of VS Code in each of the 6 to-do lists. And let's suffix each of the to-do list apps with a short name of the model that we're going to use. So please help me just set up this test scaffolding framework, and then we'll go from there. All right, so that's the prompt that I'm going to execute. Let's see what happens, and we'll correct it if things go wrong. All right, so it's thinking. It understands our to-do list. Oh, I forgot to mention the models. Here's the model list. And one piece of advice I have for you is never be afraid to cancel it and correct it, because that's probably the best way to vibe code and make sure things don't go crazy. If you kind of just let the large language model do whatever it wants, it tends to produce kind of crazy results sometimes. I tend to watch it. Every time I have stepped away from my computer, I tend to get results that I don't expect. So I like to watch it, as slow and painful as it is sometimes. All right, so here's the model list. And let's see what it says. So it's creating a model-specific app. Cool. To do apps. Nice. So it's comping them all over. This could take some time. So while we're thinking about this, we'll just let this churn through. All right, making them one by one. So think of the things that we want to compare. We want to compare the speed, how long did it take to create the project, quality. There's like some aspect, this is kind of harder to measure, but a qualitative measure of how well it created the to-do list. And cost dash, the total cost in terms of tokens and money. So yeah, I think these are kind of the three things that I'm thinking about. All right, it's creating my model list for me. Good job. Cool, it's making the script executable. This is probably one of my favorite things about KiloCode is its terminal integration. The terminal is just so powerful, and writing bash can be kind of tricky, especially if you're just used to higher level programming languages. So it is kind of nice when KiloCode can take care of the tricky parts of the terminal for you. All right, nice. So it looks like it created our directories here. There they all are. And okay, let's go ahead and execute this script. You should basically just open up each one in 5 copies of code for me. There we go. Very cool. Here's our 5 copies of code with the project open. You should be able to see all of them. We've got, Sonnet, Grok, Qwen, GLM, Sonoma, and Nemotron. Build and launch the project using that static server. All right, so here's our prompt. I'm going to paste it in here. Let's enhance it one more time just to make sure it's as good as we need it to be, if not missing anything. Input field, to-do list items, drag and drop reordering. Ooh, filtering. I didn't even mention that before. All right, I'm not even going to read this whole thing. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm just going to remove the 3000 part just because since we have 6 of these, they could be opening on different ports, and I just don't want them to have to fight for the port. All right, so let's copy this. Just paste it here in case we need to reference it later. All right, and now let's open our many, many copies of code. So this one's the Nemotron one. Nemotron, and go. This one is Sonoma. That one's already picked, and go. GLM. Here's our prompt. GLM, go. Qwen. There we go. Switch to Qwen. And go. Grok. Here's our prompt. Grok. Go. And Sonnet. Last but not least. And go. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm back after a little bit of time. It looks like all of our to-do list projects have finished. And let's evaluate some of the results. So let's take a look here. Look like Sonnet was trying to run the browser. Grok code was trying to build. Looks like GLM didn't finish. It was having a lot of trouble even building the project. Let's give it one more shot. See if it wants to continue. Okay, Nemotron did something. Sonoma Dusk Alpha looks like it tried to finish something. Okay. And Qwen 3 also looks like it finished something. Okay. This is exciting. So in terms of our results so far, let's update here. What would be a good way to do this? Let's have Grok do it. Hey Grok, we are finished running these tests, and I'd like you to create a little ASCII chart to show us the results in terms of these free speed, quality, and cost comparisons. So yeah, build this little ASCII chart so we can write our results in. But I really like, I don't like typing and I do like talking, but I tend to repeat myself when I add these prompts, which normally people are annoyed by, but LLMs seem to really like it. So If anything, I would recommend repeating yourself when you prompt these LLMs. All right, look at this this chart. It looks pretty good. Here's our full cost comparison, and now let's look at the times. I wish I would have done this a little bit better. Okay, so in terms of the speed for each one, we're going to have to do it by looking at the files we created. So the folder, or at least the initial files in the base project, should have gotten created at one time for each of these results. And let's say get the final modified time in each of the project files, and then measure the difference and try to write it down in seconds into this chart. I know that's kind of a complicated thing. Let's give it a shot. So this is kind of a wild way of doing this. I really should have just timed it myself, but let's see what happens. We'll learn together. Can Grok code handle this type of thing? And then maybe while it's doing that, we can look at the quality of the results. So let's see. Qwen do. And run build. And I think it's just the serve command. Yeah. Serve build. Okay, let's see what we got for Qwen. Nice. Looks pretty good. I can add them. I can check them. It's interesting that you use the plots to drag them around, but that's pretty good. Nice job, Qwen. Okay, I'm impressed with Qwen. I would give this a... Maybe we should look at all of them before we give them scores. That's tough. I would at least a 7. It's pretty good. Let's see. What else? Qwen. Nemotron. Run Nemotron server here. Buff. That definitely didn't run this quite the way I expected me to. Sorry, public? Does it want me to run it from public? What's going on here? Command fence? Can you run it for me? I'm having trouble running it in a way that's making it work properly. Let's see what it says. Okay, run it. I don't see anything. Nemotron? Nemotron, are you gaslighting me? Did you build anything? Okay, you get a 1. Moving on. Nemotron, you get a 1. Qwen did a pretty good job. We're gonna give him an 8. Well, let's keep going. Look at maybe we should minimize them. Sonoma Dusk. Let's take a look at this guy. How do we do? Hey, looks pretty good. New item. Cool. Enterworks. Nice. Very cool. Delete. Let's check out very cool. Because this app is very cool. New item. Deleted. Deleted. Neato. And it's disabled. All right. This one's pretty good. I'm impressed. I would give you a 6. Am I being harsh? I don't know. I don't know what a 10 is. Sorry, Ed. Let's see. Okay, minimize you. And who we got? Nemotron. Nemotron's the one who was hallucinating. Okay. GLM did not finish. So that, I guess that's even worse. So Nemotron gets a 2. If GLM gets a 0. Maybe GLM is better at like more targeted coding tasks. It's not good at one-shotting things like entire to-do list apps is what I'm learning. I don't use it very much day to day, so we are learning together. If someone knows something I did wrong, please point it out. It's very likely that I messed up, so it might be better. than I even thought it was. Okay, and our final one, Grok code fast. Let's let it run this command. It looks like it's already running it. We'll go ahead and open this. Grok's looks pretty good. Not quite as nice as Sonoma's, but pretty good. Elon. Cool. Nice. Robot. Dragging? Oh, I can drag. I haven't been trying to drag them. I should go back and check that. Cool. Looks good. The button isn't disabled, but I can't add new ones, so I guess he gets points for that. DDD, cool. Looks good. Wowie. Oh, and I can just grab the whole thing. This is nice. Gosh, I remember the days where it was hard to build cool websites. This makes it too easy. All right. Good job. I'd say those are all pretty good overall. I would give Grok at least a 6. A 6.5? I don't know. Why am I doing it? A 7? I guess I don't know what expectations I have. Like, should it be beautiful? Should it be 3D? Maybe I'll reevaluate. So now that I've gotten all the scores, let's see. When you get a 9, you get an 8. Y'all still were pretty bad. And Sonoma, Dusk, Alpha, you get a 7. And in terms of speed, what is this going to do? No timings? Okay. All right. Do it. Okay. It's looking. See, this is the type of thing that's kind of dangerous. I should be really checking your terminal commands before you let it run things, but I bet it's staying sane. All right, here we go. It's thinking. One final command. This gonna do it? Oh, it was trying to update it for me. Try again, buddy. You got it. No, it's thinking. No. Messed up again. We're gonna try one more time. Oh, man. Let's try again. Come on, Grok. I don't quite know what you're gonna do, but I want you to succeed in whatever you're trying. I'm here to help. You know what? I feel like it always fails about 3 times, but on the 4th try, I feel like every single time I retry with Grok, it seems to work. So with Grok, 4th time's the charm is what it seems to be. Okay. I don't quite know where it's getting these numbers. Can we trust these numbers? All right. Instant. Okay. Is that because it didn't do anything? I think so. Yeah, I think the ones that are fast because it just kind of gave up and stopped. So that's not necessarily good. Slow but steady. It also spent the most money. So looking at this, let's just evaluate. Instant, but no points. Okay, it's really insistent. Funny thing is, once you tell an LLM something in a conversation, it will never let you forget it. Like I mentioned Gemini a really long time ago in this conversation, and now it just keeps trying to add Gemini. So thank you for keeping me on track, LLM. I appreciate you. All right, so here's our final scores. So looks like Grok did really well. It was, I guess it wins in terms of it cost $0 and it had A quality. I guess this wiped out my, what did we not check Sonnet? I guess we never checked Sonnet. I'm so sorry. What are you trying to go to? Run the static server and then just print the URL, print out the URL so I can click on it. Let's see. I usually turn off the browser in KiloCode. I think it kind of takes too long to open and close, and I've never actually had it be useful in my use. I think the only time it might be useful is like storybook stories. Ooh, okay. Claude's is pretty good. It looks nice. It's got a nice styling. It mentions completed. It tells you how to use it. Wow. Okay, let's see if it works. It works. Of course it works. Deleted, trash cans looking good, animated hover states, they get crossed off. It's using the drag handle. Whoa, this is a little funky. They're going to do some kind of crazy animations here, but it is working, and the add button is disabled with the cursor. Well done, Claude. I can spell. There's a U. Okay, I think that is the winner. I'm sorry. In terms of quality, if Qwen's, I would give that a 9. Sorry, Qwen. You're an 8.5. I'm a very impartial judge, you can tell. All right, and there you have it. These are my final results. Of course, the ones that did the best cost the most. Grok did amazingly and was very cheap. So here is my final results for building a to-do list using all 5 of these models. Sonoma Sky. I keep calling it Sonoma Sky. It just has a better ring to it. Sonoma Dusk, Sonnet, Nemotron, GLM, Grok, and Qwen. So that concludes our model test. Just other shout outs. So our team just launched Kilocode for Teams, which is pretty awesome. So normally up until now, you've had to use Kilocode as just a single person, but now it's finally time to convince your manager that you need this AI thing on a daily basis, and not just you, but your whole team does. So convince your team that you should buy Kilocode for Teams, and we've got some great deals going on right now. You control it all open source. Yeah, take a look. I highly recommend it. And let us know. Give us feedback. If there's anything you'd like us to build, we would love to hear it. All right. My name's Chris. That was Kilocode demoing the different models, and I'm signing off for now, but you'll see me soon. Bye.